Welcome to the fourth lecture in the Module 1 Photoshop Basics course. In this module, what I want to do is just go through the processes of explaining the File, New Document dialog box. All right, you would think it would be quite simple and all that kind of stuff, but over the years I've noticed that just because it is something that we do on a regular basis in other applications doesn't necessarily mean that that is something that people grasp right away. All right, so just bear with me as I go through this. So we go File, New, or keyboard shortcut, Command N. Oops, wrong button. Sorry about that, folks. File, New. In the New dialog box, right away we get to give our image a name. And you know, when we're starting to create our documents from scratch, and there's many reasons why you would want to do that, all right, it might be a good idea to name your file right from scratch. So let's say I'm creating a montage. All right, montage, and I call it 01 for whatever reasons, or I would call it montage golf because I'm going to create some kind of a poster collage thing, collage montage of some nature that's dealing with golf, and this is going to be my first iteration of that. All right, so I've given this a name. So when the new document is created, the name has already been set in there. The only thing I'd have to do after that would be to actually physically save the file. I don't have to give it a name because I've already given it a name. This is all part of mentally planning and preparing for the projects that you're working on. All right. If you don't give it a name at this point in time and you just go ahead and click OK, you'll get a document. Its default name is going to be Untitled 1. And then when you do your saving the first time, you're going to have to give it a name. So it's up to you which way you want to go. Now, when we're dealing with Photoshop and creating new documents, we have this preset drop-down menu here. And if I click on this, you're going to see that there's a number of presets in here. All right, by default, all right, if you've never used Photoshop before, you'll be sent to the default Photoshop size, which is a 5:7 at screen resolution. All right, which is kind of a myth, but we're all sticking with it, so we won't get into that little rant at this point in the game. All right, I want to create something possibly a little bit bigger. I'm not 100% sure, but taking a look at what's going on here is the default Photoshop is a horizontal 5:7 screen resolution. The color mode is RGB color as opposed to CMYK color, grayscale, bitmap, or LAB color. All right, LAB color, fascinating color space. Anyways, RGB color is where you're going to be most of the time, and now you can either have an 8-bit, a 16-bit, or a 32-bit RGB color image. I'm taking a look at this 1-bit option here, and that seems to be grayed out. I'm wondering if I went into grayscale, if that would be an option. No, but I'll bet you if I went to bitmap, it is the only option. Okay, so let's go back to RGB color here. The default color for your background is generally white, but you can set that up to be transparent for whatever reason, all right? Or you can set it up to be your background color. Now, in my current case right now, my background color over here in my color swatches, the black one is my foreground color, the white one is my background color. It's identical to white, so it really makes no difference. But if you needed it to start, needed your new document to start off with a unique color of some nature, you could theoretically set that up as your background color and then choose that and then go on that way. All right, there are other ways to work through that and around that. As far as the advanced section is concerned here, the working space RGB is the Adobe RGB 1998, so we don't need to take a look at that anymore, so we can actually collapse that. All right? So now, based on where you're going and what you want to do and all this other fun stuff, you can come in here, and if you're creating documents that require US paper size, then you have letter, legal, and tabloid. All right. Most people that I know choose photo or web, all right, or film and video, all right, and more mobile devices, but whatever. This is U.S. paper sizes. This is international paper sizes with the A's and the B's and the C's and the D's and all that kind of fun stuff. I have no idea what any of this stuff means. Not working or familiar with international paper. Most of the stuff I do is photo based. Now, once we're into any one of these presets, all right, any one of these presets, you'll see that there's a size drop-down menu, and Adobe has been kind enough to give us some presets, if you will. All right, so we've got 2 to 3, 4 by 6, 5 by 7, and 8 by 10s, and they're either horizontal or vertical based. All right, okay. If we went into the web, then the drop-down menu would have some other presets, all right, that you could possibly choose from. All right, the same with your film, mobile devices, and all that kind of stuff. I'm going to go back into the photo because that's generally what we deal with and all that kind of stuff. If there is a size in here that I'm going to just click on that to collapse that. If there is a size in here that you find you always use and it's not part of the presets, you can create your own custom preset. And I'm going to do that because I do a lot of printing on images that are, say, 13 by 19 on my Epson inkjet printer. And on top of that, I set my resolution to be 360 because I can, and I can get into all that stuff a little bit later on as far as Epson. I'll just say this right now because I know people are going to start asking questions. Resolution, all right? Resolution for Epson inkjet printers, all right, can be 240, 360, 480. All right, Epson inkjet printers put ink on paper differently than, as an example, Canon or HP. Canon and HP and Photolabs all require 300 pixels per inch, but with the Epson Semi-Pro and Pro printers, you can get away with doing this. And the thing I was mentioning before is 240, 360, 480, increments of 120. All right, anyways, it's not the point at this point. I just want to go over here and save the preset. Inside here, I get the preset that comes in, the physical dimensions that I'm using, and all I'm going to do is put in the at 360 ppi. All right, and I'm going to get into that and make sure it says PPI, not DPI. PPI stands for pixels per inch because your digital images have pixels per inch. DPI is dots per inch, and that's related to your printing device. All right, we'll get into that rant a little bit later on. I click on that. Now I have that set saved as a preset. I can come in here now and go to my photo. I can choose 8 by 10 landscape, or I can come over here and choose my 13 by 19 if I know that I'm actually going to be printing to my Epson printer. I also have this size over here, which is a pixel-based document size for one of my projects that I've been working on. All right, so that's all I wanted to go and save and do and all that kind of stuff. If I come in here, leave it at the 8 by 10, 300 pixels per inch, this is what everybody's used to seeing and all that kind of stuff. There we go. I've opened up my document. We have this brand new blank document. The name Montage Golf 01 is sitting there, and as soon as I go File, Save As, all right, I'll choose a location, destination, all that kind of stuff for this. I've already got the name in it. All I have to do is choose my location or destination and hit the OK, the save, or the enter button, or whatever it's called, and my file is already saved. And generally I would actually go ahead and do that before I even start to work on my image. That way, every time I do something in my document to make the creation, the project, whatever it is, I'm just a Command or Control S away from saving what I've just done. All right? No, there we go, and we're all done. Thank you very much, and goodbye.